Michael woke with a start. The cold, damp earth beneath him was uncomfortable, but it wasn't the chill of the forest that left him restless. It was the weight of his life's failures pressing on him. The towering trees above whispered softly as the wind rustled their leaves, yet their calm only amplified the storm in Michael's mind. "Is this all I'm meant to be?" he murmured to himself, staring up at the fragmented sky visible through the canopy. 36 years old, broke, and stuck in a monotonous job that barely paid the bills. He had dreams once, but life's relentless hardships had worn them thin. For a long time, Michael stayed still, lost in thought. He wasn't the kind of man who gave up easily, but lately, the idea of surrendering to his circumstances had crept into his mind. Yet, even as despair whispered to him, a memory surfaced, a conversation at work about Bitcoin. He'd heard colleagues speak about people who had turned small investments into fortunes. It sounded almost too good to be true, but something about it lingered. What if this was his way out? Returning home that evening, Michael couldn't shake the thought. His small, cluttered apartment seemed even smaller as he powered up his laptop and began typing furiously, "How to invest in Bitcoin." The screen lit up with articles, videos, and guides. He clicked on one link after another, diving into the world of cryptocurrency. Words like blockchain, wallets, and market volatility flashed across the screen. He didn't understand half of it at first, but he was determined to learn. The more he read, the more intriguing it became. Stories of ordinary people striking it rich filled him with hope. But for every success story, there were cautionary tales of scams and market crashes. Michael hesitated. He didn't have much to lose, but the little he had felt like everything. Still, the thought of staying in his current situation was more terrifying than the risk. After days of research, Michael made his decision. With trembling hands, he transferred $500 from his savings account, the only safety net he had, and bought his first fraction of Bitcoin. It wasn't much, but it was a start. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of excitement. He watched the charts obsessively, his heart racing every time the numbers ticked up. For a few weeks, things seemed to be going well. The value of his investment grew steadily, and Michael began to dream. He pictured paying off his debts, buying a house, and maybe even starting a business. But his dreams came crashing down one morning when he opened his laptop to find the market had plummeted overnight. His $500 investment was now worth less than $150. Michael's stomach sank as he stared at the screen. "What have I done?" he muttered, closing his laptop in frustration. For hours, he paced his tiny apartment, questioning his decision. Was he foolish to think he could escape his circumstances? But as the day turned into night, a different thought emerged. What if this was just part of the journey? Determined not to give up, Michael reopened his laptop and began reading again. He stumbled upon stories of seasoned investors who had faced similar losses but eventually succeeded by staying the course. "Patience," they wrote. "This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about strategy." Encouraged, Michael resolved to hold on to his investment and learn everything he could. Over the next few months, Michael immersed himself in the world of cryptocurrency. He joined online forums, watched countless tutorials, and even reached out to experienced investors for advice. They taught him valuable lessons about market trends, diversification, and the importance of securing his digital assets. Slowly, he began to see Bitcoin not as a gamble, but as a calculated risk. However, the road was far from smooth. One day, an email promising guaranteed returns caught his attention. It seemed legitimate, and Michael, eager to grow his investment, clicked the link. Within minutes, he realized he had fallen victim to a phishing scam. Half of his Bitcoin was gone. The loss was devastating. Michael spent the night staring at the ceiling, overwhelmed by anger and self-blame. But as the initial shock wore off, he made a decision. He wouldn't let this define him. Determined to learn from his mistakes, Michael became meticulous about cybersecurity. He set up secure wallets, researched best practices, and vowed never to let his guard down again. Each setback, painful as it was, became a stepping stone. He began to understand that failure wasn't the end, it was a chance to grow. As time went on, Michael's persistence began to pay off. The market rebounded, and his investment steadily grew. Encouraged by his progress, he started exploring other cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects. He diversified his portfolio, applying the lessons he had learned the hard way. His confidence grew alongside his knowledge. 2 years into his journey, Michael faced another major challenge. The market experienced a massive downturn, wiping out a significant portion of his portfolio. Friends and family urged him to cut his losses and move on. But Michael had learned to see the bigger picture. He held firm, trusting the strategies he had developed. Then, one evening, while analyzing market charts, Michael noticed something. A subtle pattern, a shift in the data that others seemed to overlook. Acting on intuition and years of study, he made a bold move, investing heavily in Bitcoin just before it surged. Over the next 6 months, his portfolio exploded in value. The $500 he had started with had grown to over $1 million. The transformation felt surreal. Michael, who once lay on the forest floor questioning his worth, was now living a life he had only dreamed of. But it wasn't just the money that changed him. Through his journey, he had become a man of resilience, discipline, and wisdom. Michael didn't keep his success to himself. He started sharing his story online, creating videos to inspire others who felt trapped by their circumstances. His message was simple: your failures don't define you, your response to them does. In one of his most watched videos, Michael sat in front of the camera, speaking directly to his audience. "I know what it feels like to lose hope," he said. "I know what it's like to wake up every day wondering if things will ever change. But I'm here to tell you that change is possible. You just have to take the first step." He ended the video with a heartfelt call to action. If this story inspired you, don't let it stop here. Take action, whether it's investing in yourself, learning a new skill, or starting a new journey. And if you want more stories like this, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Together, we can create a better future.